Urban Meyer. This could be key. There he is right there, and you see him. Here's the thing. At least 2 NFL teams have reached out to Urban Meyer to see whether the former Ohio State coach would be interested in interviewing for, if not accepting, a head coaching job at the next level. And it became more interesting when Cardale Jones, his former quarterback, had this to say about it.
I just had dinner with Coach Meyer this past Friday, and not saying he said yes, not saying he said no, but I think for him to have success in the NFL, and I think he will agree with this comment that I'm going to make, he would have to have more of a role like a Bill O'Brien, who's kind of the head coach and GM, because Coach Meyer is a big control guy, and he loves to have his blueprint and his footprint on almost any and everything it does with the program and the organization. So I think if that right organization is willing to kind of give the keys to a guy who haven't had experience coaching at the NFL level, I think it can be successful.
Okay, he would want the keys and everything. Now, Graziano, how much juice is there to this story?
Oh, I don't think it's nothing. I mean, I think it doesn't get out unless he has actual interest. Obviously, Adam is the best there is, so it's there's something to it. In terms of the level of control that Cardale Jones is talking about, a lot of teams would be hesitant to give that to a college coach coming in, but it's not unprecedented, and it's not without recent precedent. Carolina Panthers gave Matt Rule a great deal of control when they hired him last year out of college. So it's not the kind of thing that teams have necessarily always shied away from. So I know there's a lot of chatter around the league right now about the potential of a college coach or two being interested in the prospect of coaching Trevor Lawrence at the pro level. So we'll see how that shakes out with regard to Jacksonville. But it's worth keeping an eye on.
All right. And Mike, I want to bring you in. Mike Tannenbaum now with us. Mike, you've hired a lot of coaches at the NFL level. Do you believe that Urban Meyer and his coaching style can be successful at the next level?
Absolutely, Ryan. But there is a massive learning curve. A number of years ago when we were at the Jets, we actually interviewed Jim Harbaugh, who was coaching at Stanford. And about 3/4 of the way through the interview, he just said, hey, you know what? I'm simply not ready. There's so much to learn here. And a number of years later, obviously, he goes to San Francisco and has a lot of success. So I think what a key is, you have to bring somebody experienced. So a couple of years ago, Cliff Kingsbury transitions to the Cardinals. He brings Vance Joseph, a former head coach. And most of the time we see that. So for example, last year, Joe Judge brings Jason Garrett. Kevin Stefanski brings Bill Callahan, among others. So I think bringing an experienced staff with you is really important. There's no question Urban Meyer has been a great coach. Bowling Green, Utah, Florida, Ohio State, but there's so much to learn from OTAs, how to practice, when you can practice, and then obviously from a front office standpoint, the salary cap, the draft and trade. So obviously he has the ability, but it doesn't happen overnight.
He's obviously a big name. He's obviously somebody that people know well, but he's been out of it. He's been out of the game for a little bit. Doesn't mean he couldn't do great things in the NFL. But Des, do you believe that Urban Meyer's coaching style would actually translate well to the pro level?
Ryan, I don't, and for several reasons. First and foremost, because he has a big personality. He's an alpha male, and now he's going to be in the locker room with a bunch of other alpha males. The one thing that most of these head coaches can hold over a player's head at the collegiate level is that I pretty much control your future. I know you want to go to the next level and play in the NFL, and these guys, these GMs, these owners, people of that in the front office, they're going to have to come and talk to me about you. So when you hold that type of power over these young men's careers, then they are more likely to do whatever you say. Now you're coaching grown men. They have more control over your future than you have of theirs. So at that point, you're on an even playing field, and things aren't just quite the same. As an alpha male, he will have to check his ego at the door to coach at the NFL level. And then those guys brought up good points. Mike Tannenbaum said there's so much to learn at this level. We've seen some great college coaches try to move up to the NFL ranks, and they failed. So I don't know if his coaching style would really translate at the next level. He's a fantastic college coach, one of the best we've ever seen, but I'm not sure, Ryan, if that would translate well at the next level.
It certainly would be a very interesting hire. He certainly had a lot of success.